Laser tag was once the ultimate weekend battle zone, but lately, interest has been on the decline. Is laser tag dying, or is it evolving? Meet Gel Blaster, a fast, fun, and high-tech twist on classic arena battles that started as a small project on Kickstarter in 2020, quickly gained traction, and are now sold in major retailers like Amazon, Walmart, and Target. But their biggest move yet? Taking over family entertainment centers across the country and revamping old laser tag arenas into next-level battle zones. But how did we get here? And is this really the future of competitive play? Today, I am talking with the founders of Gel Blaster to find out if this is just a trend or the next big thing. And I'm putting Gel Blaster to the test for myself in one of these revamped arenas at Main Event in Austin, Texas. Prior to visiting, I had previously not heard of Gel Blaster before, so my new friend Steve got me caught up to speed.
We're giving the video game generation a way to play our video game, not with their thumbs and keyboards, but with their entire bodies.
Yeah.
All the best parts of Fortnite, Halo, Doom, whatever first-person shooting game you grew up with, but in the real world with real projectiles, with real stakes. We love paintball. We made this because our kids loved paintball so much. It just became inaccessible. It was dirty, it was expensive, it was far, it hurt. And when we brought our younger kids to play paintball, that was the aha moment because it wasn't appropriate for them. And that key word is accessibility. If you can bring the best parts if you can bring the best parts of paintball accessibly to your backyard or to the backyard of millions, then you have a real innovation. And that's what we've seen. You know, at retail, we've sold over 3 million blasters. And other companies have even chased us. So this category is now over 5 million blasters. There's so much validation for the amusement industry that this isn't just some like, oh, we hope it works. This is the next big thing because we have so much validation from the retail sector. We launched on Kickstarter in 2019 and we shipped our first products in 2020. Then in 22 and 23, we get into Walmart, Target, Costco, Lowe's, Amazon, Ace Hardware, Bass Pro. We are cranking. We're shipping to 14 different countries. People are really seeing the disruptive nature to an evergreen category and the 800-pound gorilla. Because look, our competition was Hasbro. They own Nerf for the last 50 years. So to disrupt that kind of business is no easy feat. But our incredible team was able to be galvanized around this mission of getting kids off of their devices, giving them this like pseudo video game-like experience in their backyard, making the ammo accessible, making mom happy because she didn't have to clean anything up, or dad, and we're grooving. So then at the end of 2022, we start on this path to going from a hot toy to a new platform. And we've called it from the beginning a spatial gaming platform.
Okay.
Because Nexus, for the first time ever, our idea was that if we can figure out how to score gel blasting, if we can put a digital referee that ensured there was no cheating, if we can create game mechanics that were familiar to the average gamer, who is now, by the way, a 35-year-old dude. 45% of all gamers are female, so it's not just an all-dude thing. But we would have the chance to create a 3-generational play pattern where kids as young as 8, 9, 10 could participate, their dads, their brothers, their uncles, their grandparents, and all of a sudden, like we can reinvent the family feud, you know?
Yeah.
And so in 2020, we started down this path. People were obsessed with the sheer idea that somebody is finally here to disrupt laser tag. I am not here to talk bad about laser tag. Laser tag has been a ubiquitous attraction for the last 40 years. Invented in Dallas, Texas, by a guy who saw Star Wars and was so inspired that he made laser tag. But 40 years, and if you look at the commercial from 1984, it's pretty much the same thing we do now in laser tag. And yet the business has remained a very lucrative business, $700 million in the US alone, but very stagnant and relegated to a Saturday and Sunday birthday party business. So you have all these family entertainment centers that devote 3 to 10,000 square feet of space for an attraction that really only operates 2 out of the 7 days of the week. And it's been operating at a plateau or maybe even declining. So here we go with an attraction that lives in the same or similar space and potentially disrupting laser tag for the first time in decades was enough to get us enough hype at IAAPA to win us the brass rings and really get us down this path of creating this hot new attraction. We were able to build laser tag mode as a feature of Nexus. So now Nexus is not just gel blasting. Nexus is the ultimate blaster experience for the Family Entertainment Center vertical, because now it allows them to offer 2 different attractions and expand the total available market from 5-year-olds to 65-year-olds, a 4-generational play pattern. And some of the trends that we've already seen here in our beta locations validate a lot of that.
If you're enjoying this video and would like to see more of the most unique places to have fun all across the country, subscribe to our channel. All right, back to the action. Next up, I got to chat with Colin Gwynn, the CEO of Gel Blaster, about the history of the brand and the future they are creating with their products.
My kids were playing a lot of Fortnite on the iPad and on their screens and PlayStations, and I was really just trying to be curious about why that was. Like when I was thinking, when I was a kid, I used to ride my bike around the neighborhood. I wasn't playing games all the time, and then, so instead of just getting all judgy, I actually kind of dropped into it and started playing with them a little bit and realized wow, these games are really compelling. They're very engaging. They're talking to their friends around the world. They're all teaming up, squads. It's just not the video games we grew up with.
Yeah.
And so I kind of guess had this realization that it's just going to keep going more and more that way, unless somebody really gives some kids some other options that are as compelling and as engaging, but also physically active, and maybe you're interacting with other humans in the real world, right? And I just kind of had this kind of fear thought of whoa, we're really headed toward this WALL-E type existence. And I've done hardware in the past with drones and stuff like that, and so I was just playing this kind of mental, hypothetical of what would it take to create that experience? I'm looking at his iPad, I'm watching him play. What would it take to create that experience, but you're the guy running around? What would you have to get right? Could you do it with a physical projectile? That would make it so much more cool. That would make it fun. And what all technology would have to be used? You'd have to detect the hits and be able to give score, and you'd have to be able to have different loadouts that did different amounts of damage and had different levels, and you eventually you'd want to see when I hit someone, I want to see how many points of damage I do over their head. I want to and I'm okay, well, we know AR is coming in the next 5 to 7 years, and you would need eye protection anyways. Man, I think we could build that, and I was just kind of so that was the kind of moment where it was I think there's an opportunity here to take what video games are today and make it a physical, spatial experience. And so, we just started testing it. I was well, is playing a game with physical projectiles more engaging for my 12-year-old kid at the time? He's 17 now. I said, hey, let's go play paintball. You love playing Fortnite? We're gonna go play paintball, you know? And he's oh my God, that was the coolest thing I've ever done. I want you to go play with other real humans, and have to talk to people and, learn how to interact, right? And I want you to run around and be active. And, when we go play Nexus, I'll just do a play exercise on my Apple Watch, and you'd be surprised. I mean, I'm in the 140s and 150s heart rate. And you're running around, you will have adrenaline, and especially if you're really moving around trying to get as many eliminations as possible. Right now, if you want to get 10,000 gellets, right, it's $5. So $4.99 for 10,000 gellets. So now you're not conserving paint. You're just Al Pacino, full auto the whole time, because it's free.
Yeah.
So even if each one of you wanted your own 10,000 rounds, it's $5 a person.
Yeah.
So the cost is just incredibly low. So it's we wanted kids to be able to have the joy of just holding the trigger down in full auto, which in paintball, when you're rolling your trigger and going there okay, that was $8 for that engagement, you know? And so, you know, you just don't even have to think about it. It's like almost free.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
That's I think probably one of the biggest hurdles is like it can be fun, it can work, can be great.
This arena is just one of many that are starting to pop up all across the country and the greater North America. So what do you think? Is Gel Blaster the future? And can they save laser tag? Only time will tell. Thank you to our partners at Foundations for supporting Fun Across America. Foundations gives you the complete blueprint for success, growth, and profit in the entertainment industry.